Welcome back to the Baytown Babysitters Club. And in this episode, we're doing monsters. All right, so
What?
we're doing monsters.
We're doing the
Anyways,
Netflix special Rod Zombies, The Munsters. Yeah, we watched it. When did you watch it?
last night.
I watched it yesterday.
Um,
Do you want to start it out simple?
yeah, okay.
All right.
Do you have a plan of attack?
Yeah. What did you enjoy about the movie? What did you
Okay,
enjoy about it?
so when I went into this movie, I thought that I was going to dislike the fact that it was in color.
Mm,
And I did.
mm,
But as much as I didn't like that it was in color, I also liked that it was in color. Like I was very flippy on it.
mhm,
I didn't like the fact that it was in color because I wanted it to stay kind of traditional in that manner. Um, but I also grew very quickly to enjoy that it was in color because the colors were very bright and vibrant. So that ended up being a positive.
mhm,
I think that their choice for Herman Munster was really an interesting one. I liked him as Herman Munster.
mhm.
Um, I didn't like his voice breaking, but outside of that, I thought like his facial expressions were pretty good. He
Yeah.
was he did a good homage. It's not necessarily a positive, but I didn't hate Sherry Moon in this
Okay.
for like one of the first times ever. I didn't hate her. I think it's because she was playing such a bubbly character and her voice wasn't just all Michael,
Yeah.
Michael. So like it was like a breath of fresh air. She still wasn't good, but like it
No.
was just different and it made it more tolerable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, what did you
Yep.
like?
I really like the one like big thing that like popped where I was like, I enjoy that was the aesthetic of horror,
Mhm,
the whimsicalness of horror,
mhm,
the idea of playing that real campy horror idea, and it looked cool. Like
mhm.
the bats are CGI, they look horrible, but
Right.
it
Yeah.
kind of makes weird sense.
Mhm,
uh you know Especially when they live in the Transylvania, like the idea of what their universal horror Transylvania would look like,
right. Right. Yeah.
vampires on every street,
Mhm,
and like zombies, and
mhm.
that was kind of fun,
Yeah, that
you know
was fun.
yeah.
They're
So
all
what?
just living in like cohesion. Like
Yeah.
she goes out with Nosferatu, and
No.
like her brother is the Wolf Man. Like
Yeah.
that aspect I also enjoyed. And I think that that was kind of like just him loving horror,
Yeah.
but also when we get to the negatives, we'll see all of the negatives
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
there's a
Let's.
handful more than there are
Yeah, there's
positives.
a ton more. All right, what didn't you like?
So the script was stupid.
Yes, writing was
Um,
stupid.
the There's no plot line to this movie,
No,
and
it's.
at best, there's a bullet point. Like he
Yeah.
went, all right. So the idea for this movie, yeah, is we're going to, yeah, we're going
Lily and
to,
Herman meeting for the first
yeah,
time. That was it.
and then they get screwed out of their castle and they have to come to America.
Yeah. The Munsters. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. uh because yeah, so the script was terrible, the acting wasn't the best, but again, that's forgivable because it's supposed to be campy old school horror, so that's to be expected. We're not getting
Yeah.
Vincent Price here, we're getting like the Munsters silly TV show. So
Yeah.
um I didn't expect them to tackle like the homeless epidemic and things like that with this movie.
No, he
So
didn't. Yeah, he
but
didn't need
the
to, but
script still was not good, the writing was not good, the acting was not good. And I don't know if this happened to you, but about 40 minutes into the movie I was looking at my phone.
No,
I was playing
no,
NBA
no,
Jam
actually
on
it
my
didn't.
phone. I
It
mean,
didn't.
I kept like attention,
Hmm.
but like those in between scenes, like where it was just like nothing was really happening,
Yeah.
I was definitely dunking on people
Yeah,
because
when
like
they
I was like,
were starting to date and stuff
yeah,
is
yeah,
when
yeah,
like, and then the wedding, and
yeah,
my brain kind of floats, and I had to defend it off from Tara and stuff because she kept on threatening to turn it off just because it was a Rob Zombie movie.
yeah. Well,
Uh,
Tara, stop being prejudiced against Rob
no,
Zombie movies.
shit.
Most of them are good, you're right, but
The only comment you're gonna get under this video is "Shut the fuck up, Rod Zombie." Fucking like a whole goddamn like novel about fuck Sherry Moon Zombie and shit. Yeah, the writing was shit.
yeah.
Written and directed by Rod Zombie. I feel like he took things from the Munsters show and
Hmm.
tried to put them into the movie.
Hmm.
And what that ended up doing was having a bunch of jokes that kind of went over people's heads. You ain't see, I'm gonna watch this. You need to sell this to an audience who goes, Munsters, that's like that old TV show. Let me put it on and see
Hmm.
what's up. I guarantee some kid in high school right now is not gonna know the Sonny and Cher reference.
Hmm.
The Munsters, what the fuck? And then they're I hope they watch it,
Yeah.
That's all it is, because it's not gonna bring anybody new in to go, well, it was a pretty good movie actually and stuff. I'll have to watch the show. Yeah, I don't give a shit about the Munsters TV show. It was always about the Addams family for me. I
Yeah.
enjoyed that more.
But yeah, so like I feel like with he loved the aesthetics, he loved the look. So that's what he focused all of his energy on.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, at least there's that. Like the
A for
sets
effort.
were, yeah, the sets were cool, the lighting was cool,
Yeah.
the camera work, the special effects, makeup, not the special effects, like the CGI was terrible. Um, but like
Yeah.
he put a lot of effort into those things, and I can
Yeah.
appreciate that. But it was just everything else that wasn't
Yeah.
good. The
Yeah.
Like I said, the 50s jokes where he's like, my wife has looks that can kill, and so does her cooking.
Yeah.
Like I still enjoyed those because it's just like dad humor,
Yeah.
and it's just like, but and it was really just his delivery, because he was delivering it like a 50s TV show
Hmm.
host, like Johnny Carson would, or something,
Yeah. Yeah.
or like somebody equivalent to Don
Just
Rickles minus the
yeah, a
racism.
bad late night TV host.
Right, exactly.
One thing though that I noticed that I wanted to talk about, and like you said that the actors were fine. They weren't good, they weren't bad.
Mhm.
But do you think if we would have recast this with younger, like college 20s, in their 20s, Lily and Herman, to
No,
make them feel younger,
no,
do you think it would have been better?
no. I think that I think that they got Herman Munster right.
Mhm.
Uh, he wasn't bad. I didn't dislike his performance outside of his voice cracking a lot. That
Mhm.
And it was very clearly intentional, but I didn't like that factor. Outside of that,
Yeah.
I thought he did a good job. He did decent service to it.
Yeah.
Sherry, you could replace her with anybody and it would have been the same. They nailed the grandpa, they nailed the dad,
Yeah,
like,
the
of
grandpa was
course,
fine.
but everybody else, like a younger cast wouldn't have helped this.
The campiness of Sherry was fine. Like I got it.
Yeah,
Um, it did get kind of like not boring or tiresome at moments. It was just like, okay, yeah, I get it.
yeah,
Kind of like next, let's move on.
yeah.
Let's keep going. Is the color feels oversaturated, but it never took me out of the movie. Like I never wanted to
No, it
watch.
was one of the only things that kept me in the movie. was
Is it
like looking for the next set was,
mhm.
or the next like scene where the setting is changed, was
Yeah.
one of the big things that kept me in the movie. I
Yeah.
enjoyed that. I was like, he put a lot of time and effort into the costumes and the sets. Like,
Yeah.
keep in mind, so one of the things that annoyed me a little bit was he took his like $45 or whatever that he made this movie for, um and on Instagram and Facebook or whatever, when he was starting this, he said, we're building Mockingbird Lane all the way. We're
Yeah.
building the house, a complete house. We're building the entire street, like everything,
Yeah.
so that it looks real.
Mhm.
And then we see it for 10 minutes of the movie. We see two rooms in the house,
Well,
and then that's it. And it's like, so you spent all your time and effort on these things, and then that's it. Like,
yeah.
we didn't even get the payoff of like getting to walk around in the house. Like, and the house looked great, but we didn't get the payoff of seeing inside the house. We didn't get to walk around the house with these people. Like,
Grandpa's laboratory. Yeah.
right, like nothing. How many times are we going to accept him missing the mark on things? Like,
Uh,
every movie, it's like, idea good, everything else terrible.
no.
And it's just, I'm over it with Rob Zombie. Like,
Yes. Remember, style over substance all the
yeah, I
time.
know. But this didn't even have like so like he nailed the 50s, like 60s, 70s ish TV show aspects of this
Yeah.
movie, like the silly like cutscene when Sherry falls in love with him, and it's
And the
like,
shit in the
yeah,
background
yeah,
and stuff.
all that
Yeah,
stuff,
that
like
stuff.
that was cool. Like, I get it, like that's fun.
Yeah.
Like, there was a lot of fun to the movie. It
Yeah.
just wasn't done well. And then the
No.
script and the acting, like, it just, it it took away from the movie.
I think
So
he needs help. I think he needs
I know.
somebody who, well, yeah, there's multiple, like, yeah, in that question, but I think he needs to find a collaborator with her. They had Elvira in the movie
I
and she
know.
was under fucking used. Oh yeah, here, smear this green fluorescent fucking paint on your face.
Yeah.
And like, but anyway, yeah, Rod needs someone who knows Act One, Act Two, Act Three. Okay, we have those. Okay, in Act One, we're gonna do this that goes to this that happens because this, but and then so on and so forth. Because he's got great ideas, the
Mhm.
substance, I mean, the style,
Mhm.
but he has none of that substance that kind of like maintains my focus and like, hey, I like that. I like that. No, that's never been,
Yeah.
he had it right in like Devil's Rejects, but it just
He
went
just,
down.
he can't write a script. It's
No,
insane.
no.
He has great ideas.
Yeah.
Like, this movie on mute would be entertaining. Visually, the movie is entertaining.
No.
It's just when you put the sound of people trying to hold this conversation that doesn't make any sense,
Hmm.
it takes you out of the movie so quickly, because it's like, do you care? You have
Yeah.
to have substance to the movie, and you have none.
Yeah.
And
Something to
I,
hold it together,
yeah,
you know.
and then the movie just ends. All right, so would you pay to see it in theaters?
Nah.
Me either. Thriller kill.
This time of year, I'm gonna say thrill, just because it's chilly outside around here and the leaves are starting to fall. So it kind of like, hey, that's what I'm kind of looking for. But then you watch the movie and it's kind of like 50-50. So
Okay. I'll say it's thrilling just because of the visuals
mhm,
and the campiness of it. I enjoyed that. So
mhm.
stars.
Cult classic.
Oh, the Will this be a cult classic?
Nah, nah. I think there might be
It
like a
has the
small group, but
Yeah,
not.
it has the potential to end
It
up a
has the
cult
potential.
classic. Stars. How many stars do you give this movie?
Yeah. I'm gonna give it a. I'm leaning to 2.5, but I will go 3 just in case. Just 3. Yeah.
You sound like a Christian.
I bet. Yeah.
I'm gonna be good just in case.
You sound. That's funny. I want that on a shirt. You sound like a Christian.
I'm going to give it 3 stars because of everything but the script and acting.
Yeah.
It just it didn't hit its marks when it really counted.
Right.
That's pretty much what this boils down to. So yeah, that's our review of the Munsters.
Yeah.
We give it to you straight here on Video Waste. So if you enjoyed it, leave it in the comment section and tell us why it was so awesome. And if you agree, I know